ila miro ite fon la miro isaki no fayen pentafona nakuma ko ngal mbon fola wo fona to tan fon la bul.
But the commission and the Gambian people are entitled to the truth.
Commission on in Gambian no Jamar Rahman on you will find an yanto in the Prietonia Kesoso.
And you being asked to help the commission to decipher the truth.
And yin kala puru ye karendo ke bulling in Nako, Puri commission Marco Prutonia Kesoso.
Was this execution done secretly or was it done transparently?
When you faro make it a Kulura on a fucker at Tilwin in Toniaco.
I do not know.
Long.
Because I wasn't there when it was done. Like I said, how, where, and who. Well, I cannot help the commissioner on that investigation. Nothing me and Allah I would have said it.
But Mr. Jobarteh, you can know whether it was done publicly and transparently or it was done secretly. But that is a matter of obvious fact which you can't know without having been a participant in the process.
Mr. Jobarteh, I'm saying you isn't long no for. According fakata kulo ko no waranto fakata tilimoni ntonyale kono handing ayazara ikafunya mendo ko itenunji hanna retenunji baro nyenno rolon nale fo akata tilimoni ntonyale kono waranto fakata kulo la kono.
Council, I still maintain my position. I do not know.
Council,
the issues that I was able to help you on.
Right. This points more a refusal to answer the question than an obvious fact, because this is about whether this was publicly done or whether it was secretly done. Everybody who lived in this country knew how it was done.
But
the question does not suggest whether you are there. The question is rather to interrogate whether there was public knowledge that this was going to happen in this place at this time and in this manner.
But
that information was not available. So it was done in secret. You agree with that?
I have told you that I do not know. Unless if you are trying to force words into my mouth.
I will not force words into your mouth.
That is what it appears to me. Because once I said several times that I do not know. That's the end of the story.
No, Mr. Jobarteh, it would not be the end of the story because the answer is patently unsatisfactory. In view of the information that is available, you should be in a position to make a pronouncement that on the basis of what you know, it was public or it was secret.
Kasuji ninkibaro langa menso anita fanna load laka ibe pala ibe makamodo ka ita fo mole ko fo tonya ronya nyimfaro men kala fakata kullo ka fakata bankelo ko.
I cannot say so.
Do fola no.
Was it done publicly?
Kata bankelo kono ba?
I don't know.
No.
Okay. Did government give information that the executions were going to take place at a particular date?
Fo masakunda kibaro bondile banka janjandi kafo ko nyimfaro nyinga bekela dum kari laba.
I'm not aware of any such information.
Did the government give prior information as to the manner of the killings?
Not that I know of.
Did the government give information about the place of the executions?
Not that I know of.
Did the government give information to families of those to be executed as to what was going to happen, date, place, and time?
foma sekunda kibaro di wumul la menana ko yolol findindi kada ko kate fale fo ya di la kibaro ila fa ila dimba ndal ban ka fo ko be fala ni wati kada dum be fala ndi.
I'm sorry about that, Mr. Jobarteh. Did I take it that your answer is not that you are aware of?
Yes.
So it therefore means this was done in secret?
I cannot say so.
Well, if it was done publicly, you would have known. Well, the position you occupied, obviously, if it was done publicly, you would have known.
What's a matter of opinion by you?
No, Mr. Jobarteh, I disagree. It's not a matter of opinion. It's
Mr. Chairman, you please intervene. I cannot say or talk about things that I do not know.
Mr. Chairman,
that's why I've been insisting on the same question over and over. And I will refuse to answer any other question on the point. It is my right.
Mr. Jobarteh, let me read you the law. Under the laws of this commission, you do not have a right to refuse to answer questions unless and until that question incriminates you in an offense. And this question is rather innocuous. It does not incriminate you in an offense. This is a simple assessment of a situation.
Mr. Jobarteh, ñini karla me ya lonko mbanga loi kareja me ya lonko atele TRC be tama kan loi ndela TRC la loi e sane ande janko to nyala e manyanda ke fandum sedan do nyingoro bari hanin kabi fanan ñini karo ñinge kay ñini kan ñimmen amanka ñini karla me ya lonko e si fandum na kono le ñini karla me ya lonko don kula no ya lonko pour laftal don pour ay CDA.
That notwithstanding, I can only answer questions that are within my knowledge.
The question asked elicit information that is within your knowledge. You know whether this was done publicly or whether it was done secretly. Well, if you do not answer the questions, I'll just ask the commission to simply note the fact that you have refused to answer a question which is within your knowledge.
Ni mazana nyini karo nyinjabira mba itandila komiso nyati ngona janko sedo fila nyati ngona me alonko nyini karo landi alata nyati ngona barabara ndila ka nyini karo nyinjabi ando nyini karo nyini kada de me alonko ay londo soto jere.
That would be wrong to assume. That you ask the answers to which are within my knowledge.
I will not further argue on this point. I'll just move on. And in fact, the evidence points to the fact that you were present during the execution. Do you deny that? Omar Jallo called Oya. This is a person who participated in the executions. And he clearly named all those people who were present. And he implicated you, Mr. Jobarteh. He said Babadinding Jobarteh, Minister of Justice, was present. Is he lying?
Yes, he is lying. Because when he was writing that particular statement, he clearly stated he could not recall the name, and my name was suggested to him.
No, listen to this. Listen to this. Let's look at the transcript. The witness said there was this question. He had mentioned the General Sol Baji.
General
He said,
Sol Baji
Mile 2 is the place where the people who violate the laws are being kept. Before we went there, we went to head of prisons, who is David Colley. When we got there, we met General Sol Baji, General Baji. And I asked the question, there have been many General Bajis in the Gambia. Who are you referring to? He said General Sol Baji. We met the former Interior Minister. I asked the question, name? He said Sonko. I cannot recall the name. I said we had a few Sonkos as Interior Ministers. And then I suggested that would be Usman Sonko, wouldn't it? He said yes. We also met another individual. He is short. He was the Justice Minister. I don't know him. Give us a description of the person. He answered, well, it was in the night. So I could not identify each other, and when I was going, I was also dressed in a mask. But the individual is not tall. Maybe Sude Karon Sudolem, but in Buaro Membejan Fananganyada Mura, you have me a max. But in Yumari Mumanke Mojama to Musutulam. He is just average height.
What you read and what he just explained are different.
Can you correct him?
Okay. Omari Manke Mojam Farenri.
He's not tall, he's just average height.
He didn't even use the word in the average height. He said he's not tall.
Yes, corrected.
That's what I just corrected it.
Okay, then we proceed. I asked skin complexion. He said, to be frank, I cannot recall. He said, in your statement, you indicated a name of Babadinding Jobarteh. And he said, yes, I did not know him, but through the assistance of the investigators, they assisted me with his name. But listen, but as far as you are concerned, you were certain that the Minister of Justice at that time was present at the scene. He answered, what solidifies my beliefs that he was there was after we did all we had to do. Then Captain Rambo went and held him like this at the hand, and they went around all the dead bodies. Then I asked, what I am trying to drive at is how you arrive at the conclusion that that gentleman was the Minister of Justice. And he answered, because after we did all the work, then Rambo said, let me go and bring the Justice Minister. He went and held him by the hand and took him around the dead bodies. That was how I know that this was just the Justice Minister. He was told that this was the Justice Minister.
I'm saying two things. Number one, he's lying. I was never ever there. And secondly, you must remember, This evidence is not tested by cross-examination.
We all know that, Mr. Jobarteh.
Well,
we all know it's not tested by cross-examination.
Well, yes. So,
yes, we all know it's not tested by cross-examination.
How then would you emphasize the fact that I was there when I said I wasn't there? The warrant is addressed to the sheriff of the Gambia.
The
Excuse me. I had made it very, very clear that it was the sheriff lead Buba Jao that was there.
Now, Senendi Janeko, Sheriff Ikafomi Buba Jao, Sa Mantara Baluri, whatever you get.
But Mr. Jobarteh, you would agree with me that the sheriff, Mr. Jao, has a completely different build to compare to you.
Sedo Edison Namalako, Eko Kafoko, Sheriff Mr. Buba Jao, Atena Lonya, Anita Fatah Bucket.
He is tall.
At a jump fatal.
You are of average height. Just like the witness has described.
I am saying, and I maintain my same position. Wallahi, billahi, tallahi, the Quran is here. I would never ever present at this.
Whatever that is worth, it is in the record. These witnesses also swear on oath. 2 of them already said you were there. 1 of them described you. And here is yet another one. This is Mr. Lamin Babadinding, PIU officer who testified before your honors.
Mr. Lamin Babadinding, the PIU
and he was asked the question, what did you see when you got into mile 2? He answered, we got inside, we find so many heads there, security heads, people of high ranks, people like Suleiman Baji, Usman Sonko, former interior minister, justice minister, prison boss David Colley. All these 3 witnesses describe exactly the same set of people, including you. Is he lying? Yes. So all 3 of them are lying.
Yes.
All right. Here is another one, Mr. Chair. Amadou Baji, old chairman. Just a moment. Just a minute. He was asked, could you kindly call the names again, please? So he mentioned the names of the junglers who were there. And then he went on to say that for rectification, here, in our vehicle, I left Omar inside the vehicle with the cops. After I was standing on the way, waiting for those ministers coming. Those ministers coming. Only 2 ministers have been mentioned. Justice Minister and Interior Minister. So if it was only Interior Minister who was mentioned, the witness would have said the Minister. Minister killing. So he was again asked, so did the ministers arrive at the Lance Corporal Bojang range?
Minister na furanu Lance Corporal Bojang ring la dingirani tolaba.
And he answered, yes, they came. But as far as they told me that, not to waste time, the moment they arrived, let me give them way to pass. That is what I did. The moment they arrived, I pointed the way to them so that they passed and went forward. And he was asked, and then what happened when they passed? I saw them when they arrived. They were met by our team leaders who led them to the place where the corpses were lying. This witness also said 2 ministers were there. Two ministers. The trumpet article, written when? Written sometime later in 2019. And this is what they wrote. The trumpet newspaper, has reliably learned how former President Yahya Jammeh planned the unconstitutional execution of 9 Mile 2 inmates in late August 2012.
Yahya Jammeh fero landino nyaadi le pour nyum mo konon to lamini alon ko ye fala me alon ko keta 2009 tema mafam.
Our investigations revealed that Yahya Jammeh, in consultation with Usman Sonko, then Minister of Interior Njogu Elba, then Secretary General and Head of Civil Service,
Secretary General and Head of Civil Secretary
Lamin Jobarteh, then Minister of Justice,
Lamin Jobarteh, Minister
and the Inspector General of Police Yankuba Sonko. At State House before the execution. You met at State House before the execution. And it says, contrary to the version of the state, that the 9 were executed by a firing squad on Sunday, 26 August. That's what the government said, isn't it?
I don't know.
Then our investigation revealed that they were actually suffocated and strangled to death on Thursday, 23rd August 2012.
Now, Kizkizro and Arnamen into Laura Mindigo, Kamol de Foynar in New Narnaji, Menkata Dimasola 2008 Sangon.
That too you don't know?
I don't know. More for how long?
On the evening of 23rd August 2012, State House convened a meeting of the security chiefs, which was attended by Benedict Jammeh, the then Director General of NDLEA, Numo Kujabi, the late Director General of defunct NIA, Buba Sanyang, retired Director General of Immigration, and Yankuba Sonko, then Inspector General of Police. Upon arrival, they found Lamin Jobarteh, Usman Sonko,
Harisambu,
Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Defense.
Permanent Secretary, member Marlin Ministry.
Basanya Harisambo and Numo Kujabi at his office.
Bula office.
In somber tone.
Jogubana Narna Diamu Jeto.
We should all stand shoulder to shoulder.
Benyana Lola Nyofele.
And defend our friend.
Manterin your
fall down.
Manyanaka Sonkaji Ayabui.
We should not stab each other at the back. After they in fact,
in attendance.
And
the other names are listed in the document. After the male inmates were removed from their cells at the security wing and Lady Tabara from the female wing, they were assembled at the headquarters at the main yard at Mile 2 prison. It was General Solbadi who signed the receipt book indicating that he received the 9 prisoners.
Kewol bondi la mafon le yol soron dame nana tabara fana bondi musol ka soron dame de be londi donkira kilimoto su general Suleiman Bajire keta mod me alon batele ya sign kay tande go atele ni multa itoya.
The prisoners were then handcuffed, put in 3 tinted vehicles and taken to Kanilai.
Inarana ni multa ye bulol cheni ye bulandi mudol ko me alon ko ni moto veri fimor le minare ne nyati linke samba Kanilai.
Upon arrival, they were taken near an old well. Before the inmates were killed, Colonel Solo Bojan robbed them from head to toe with an animal tail in a ritual style.
Solo Bojan ni murumuruntela ni sifenyo babulu da fenyo babula murumuri balo balakabudu wa fosanto.
That too is a lie.
I do not know. Long a minute now. I do not know. Here, it's a case where the 2 versions have been given. One is saying at the ring,
look, Mr. Jobarteh, I can only faithfully represent the evidence as it is.
Similarly, I can only speak about what I know.
I will not encourage you to say what you do not know. After the killing, the bodies were dumped in the well. The The execution is said to be witnessed by General Solbaji.
Faroning Mayor Mabe, Willem General Solbaji,
General Borakoli.
General Borakoli,
Colonel Solo Bojang and team of junglers.
Colonel Solo Bojang and
Jonglers. Squad. The suggestion that you were at State House and at Mile 2 to receive the prisoners, you say it is false.
Yes. Taro mengada imol lambido mengada State House and nikataji mol kama Mile 2 equal them kula me ango kuma sodo balola.
All right. Let me get another one. You said all these things are false. You don't know anything about
what I would suggest.
Let me follow.
Is during that month, maybe you should get the driver.
He said driver so don't know.
Maybe you should get the driver of late Bubajao.
Bubajao la driver so kumanino.
Mr. Jobarteh, the fact that Mr. Jawe was present there does not absolve you from responsibility. And it also does not negate your presence. What would negate your presence is evidence that you were in a different location and witnesses who say you were not there. At least you should have an alibi. You are not able to give us one.
Misalo di non nagafo lumuni ben min dole man fam pondi non kan tonya kan landi ni nago tonya to eten nje.
What I would suggest to you, check the prison register.
Prisoner, ela buko miare ka sefero ka wolto ajibeba.
Those who were there on that particular night.
Mol miare ko lebije wo suto ni.
It will be recorded in the register.
Bebe tara sefero ela buko kono.
What is said to have been recorded?
Mem fota ko wala men safata.
Is the people who are removed from the prison.
Not
the people who are in attendance.
Mr. Fall, the normal procedure at the prison is every visitor or otherwise who comes to Mile 2 at the gate, your name is recorded.
Well, that
would be regular. But Mile 2 prison is far from regular. People were put in detention without any paper. People were being removed from prison without a single paper.
What I can say, from all this, at no time was I present.
Well, the next day of after the execution, you issued a press release from the report of the UN on official executions being carried out after long hiatus. And this was, in fact, this was an Amnesty International report.
Amnesty International report already.
All right, and then at the middle of the page, it says, the Gambian Ministry of Justice, in a statement issued on August 24th,
Gambia Minister
defended Jammeh's announcement about implementation of the death penalty. It cited Section 18 of the Constitution and noted that in due compliance with the constitutional provisions, it follows that all persons on the death row have been tried by the Gambian courts of competent jurisdiction. And whereof convicted and sentenced to death in accordance with law.
And
this is by Amnesty International.
Amnesty International.
Amnesty International did not say who actually made the press conference.
Amnesty International.
Wait a minute.
Okay. Minister of Justice there.
It only says from the Ministry of Justice.
Go. Ministry of Justice. Minister of Justice.
But you are the Minister of Justice. Is a press statement is released on such an important day. Are you claiming that you are ignorant of that too?
Come in left Africa when you come into the thing. Come into Minister of Justice.
Indeed, I do not know. It says the Gambian Ministry of Justice in a statement issued.
Go Gambia la Minister Bunda.
Mr. Jobarteh, would the minister?
Can I finish?
Okay, finish.
The auto have clearly stated the Ministry of Justice.
The Minister of Justice
does not mean that no. Lamin Babadinding is the one or was the one that made the press release.
Minister of Justice, the Lamin Jobarteh.
I did not.
But Mr. Jobarteh, would the Ministry of Justice at this time issue a press statement without your knowledge?
It's a Minister of Justice. It's a kibaro bodnola tretema kalamutabang.
That would be really shocking.
And as a matter of fact, I have seen this for the first time today.
There is yet another, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
And this one with your picture boldly on it. Pass it on.
The fact that my picture is on this. Does not, you know how many times this particular picture has been going around?
Mr. Jobarteh, did you protest when this article was published? I'm asking a question. Did you protest when this article was issued? No, but this is issued in the country. Your picture is boldly slapped on it. On a process which you say you were not part of, on a process which you say was unlawful, on a process which you say it was so bad that you had to distance yourself from it, and yet you just kept mum.
I wish the Point newspaper is invited to come and clarify how my picture appeared on their paper.
Yes,
it is important. Because I know I have never ever issued any press conference on this matter.
Well, the documents speak for themselves. Well, when it mattered, you did not say a thing.
When it mattered, I did not see it.
Well, you know the rules, Mr. Jobarteh. It was publicly published in the country, and under law, by law, a copy must be deposited in your office. By law, a copy will be deposited in your office.
If you go to the current Minister of Justice,
the minister will
tell you all copies that have been deposited, he had deceased them.
But is that what you would call in defense? For yourself?
I'm not defending anything. What I'm saying is, I did not see this paper. No my picture on it.
You had constructive knowledge of this. Constructive knowledge, I mean, because this was deposited in your office. It gives you notice. And it would be shocking if the Point newspaper would so boldly put the picture of the Minister of Justice on the paper and attribute some responsibility to the ministry if that were not true, and the ministry just keep quiet.
Ni ko yabe warla baka ni ngadra min kayti kibar kayto ni na ministre na ba tebe wato la je yala na talo ta ya ken kayto bala ten ministry e tara deri go kan imam fam foje abala fa be warla.
It would have been different
ta fatala no
if it is personally attributed to me.
na tara ya fonte ndala karola
Merely putting my picture or
na talo ke je
on
dolo
that page.
But the thing is, Mr. Jobarteh, when the Ministry of Justice issues press releases, they do not personalize it to an individual. They say it is the Ministry of Justice that says that and that and that. It does not say, I, the Minister of Justice, say this.
Kibaro jenjane buka fonde fam kunnin ko ten ikafalo ko minister membe je minister membe justice membe ratala mata loi din kitin de kunyal akuten nin ten ibuka fo fam kunnin.
Yes, it is attributed to the institution,
not the
person.
Not
The fact that it has been attributed to the institution does not mean that Lamin Jobarteh did it.
Well, Mr. Jobarteh, let's look at this. You are the head of the ministry. You are the alter ego of the institution. It is said that the ministry said it. If that was not true, you should have come out and said, no, this is not the case.
The ministry
You did not do anything. It was also issued and your picture put in there. You did not say anything. The international human rights organizations also published it. You did not say anything until now.
I am not aware.
Well, you, under the law, you have constructive notice because this was served to your office.
I disagree that I have constructive notice.
Well, the commission would look into that.
Very well.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chair, I would at a later stage put in these 3 pieces of evidence as exhibits. And now, in fact, just 2 more points on this. These executions were by suffocation and strangulation. That is inhumane. It's a violation of the rules. And as Minister of Justice, it was your responsibility to ensure solemnity of the process. That is what the law says.
Mr. Lead Counsel. I have told you over and over, and I maintain the same position. I do not know where and how they were executed. I still maintain the same position.
And in fact, Mr. Jobarteh, another violation of the law is the failure to inform the government of the foreign nationals who were killed. Do you agree?
I do not agree.
Why don't you agree?
To some extent I agree, to some extent I do not agree. Because if the foreign country is supposed to be informed, it should and ought to have been done by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Foreign Affairs was not aware of this. It should have been the line ministry that would inform Foreign Affairs to do it.
That is not my responsibility.
Well, this is executions. It does not say Minister of Interior. It says Minister of Justice.
Yes.
You are the minister responsible for overseeing these activities.
Minister of.
So it ought to have been your responsibility to discharge Gambia's international obligations.
And by
not doing so, the Minister of Justice has failed in his responsibility.
I do not agree.
Mansong.
Because
well, if you take Mansong,
can I finish?
Okay, please.
You're going to do all the talking. You have to give me a chance to explain.
Answering questions, except where you say Mansong. But it's all right. Proceed.
What do you expect me to say now when I do not agree? It's the man that said Mansong. I did not say Mansong. I said I do not agree.
Okay. Proceed, please.
Mansong.
I said I do not agree. I am not aware of where, how, and by whom these executions were done.
But Mr. Jobarteh, you were aware that Mr. Jawa was there.
Yes.
Magic?
Was aware.
Magic?
It cannot be by magic.
How?
The Chief Justice himself told me because the instructions were passed to him.
Chief Justice.
Well, this is most shocking.
Mr.
Mr. Jobarteh, there is in fact another significant issue in all of this.
Mr. Jobarteh,
do you remember Mr. Yabo?
Mr. Yabo Kandaba.
Mr. Yabo. I think so.
Tell us about him.
I inherited the file. From then Justice Wowo.
Justice Wowo,
at judgment level.
Case file on Babadinding to me I cover judgment level
And he, going by the evidence, I think if I can recollect, he took an iron rod. An iron rod.
Yes, iron rod.
Yes.
Fine. And hit his mother and killed her. And he was charged for murder. On evaluating the evidence, I sentenced him to death.
And you signed?
Yeah, sign.
The warrant.
The warrant when you sign.
Which warrant? Can I see the warrant you are talking about? Haven't been signed by me?
The warrant for his committal to Mile 2 prison on death row.
Warrant member attended ko nyantala Mile 2 and nyantala molle ko meran ko nyanne falale.
Yes, I signed this.
Thank you. Bring the document. So you are the judge in this case. And the death warrant
when you
said you advised the president to execute him.
Oh, I attended the president Yamar la Pur Ayafa.
And on top of that, the witnesses said you were there present confirming the execution. What makes you judge, jury, and executioner? That would be a gross travesty of justice. If that is true.
I'm glad you clarified it. The only place where convicted prisoners are kept is Mile 2. And that's the only place I can sign for him to be kept.
And also dula damansa sign no priyama bawal.
Interrupting me, I cannot finish what I want to say. And you cannot, in which case,
my point is, from these documents, you are the judge, jury, and the executioner. And that would be a gross travesty of justice. Nemo judex in causa sua.
I disagree.
Well, problema bekeri ifo nata munukare kada kiti tera takon. Ila problema bekeri nata ka kiti tera takon.
You disagree?
Yes.
What do you disagree with?
You see, the issue is, if you were to read section 1, 2, 3 or 236.
1, 2, 3, or 236.
I'm not sure of the Constitution.
The chair will always have a copy.
In good faith.
So I am sorry, Mr. Jobarteh, you missing the point completely. The point being made here is your action as a judge is not being called into question. What is being called into question is you sat as Minister of Justice according to the documents and advised the President on a decision that you have already taken. And in addition to that, you were present when the executions were actually carried out. That would make you a judge in a matter that you are interested in, because you passed the initial judgment.
That is incorrect. Because I never ever advised the President on the execution of these prisoners.
Mr. Jobarteh, do you think it was your responsibility to first check whether in fact these executions could have lawfully been made in view of the status of those cases?
If I were to advise,
but as Minister of Justice, of course it was your responsibility to advise on the lawfulness of these executions.
I made it very, very clear that at the time of the pronouncement, I was 300 plus kilometers away.
You quickly came back. You quickly came back.
No, I did not quickly. But I was not present at the time of the executions. That's what I said. Please don't misquote me.
No, I'm not misquoting you.
Yes, you are.
I'm not misquoting you. You know how cross-examination is made. You ask.
This is not cross-examination.
Well, I can cross-examine you on some issues.
No.
Well,
you are supposed to be leading me.
Yes, and in leading you, Mr. Jobarteh,
does not leading me.
I can also cross-examine you.
Leading me does not mean cross-examination.
Well, I come somebody said but I'm going to
I will not go into that argument. It's a red herring. It just takes us away from the main issues. Some of these cases, in fact, the appeals were still pending.
I would have understood if their names were sent to me after a report. Then I would have checked the individual files or called for the individual files. But I was excluded from the whole exercise.
But what baffles us is that you were excluded from the whole exercise, yet you were so involved as to be able to advise the President that it would be unlawful for the Minister of Interior to sign the warrants.
Yes.
You must
remember, you must remember at the initial stage, when he gave me the instructions from the Minister of Interior, to come to sign the warrant. I told him clearly, it is not the duty of the Minister of Interior.
Did he give you the warrants to take to him to sign?
Yeah.
When you discussed with the president, who should sign the warrants?
He told me he only gave me instructions, and I made it very, very clear initially. I said he gave me instructions to prepare the warrant.
Okay. You want to tell us that you told Jame that you refused to prepare these warrants?
I told him warrants will be signed by himself.
So how does an order to you to prepare the warrants translate into you being sidelined and it became an order to the Chief Justice?
That is my perception. The warrants should have been prepared by my office.
You were given the order to do so. You would not face Jame and tell him, I will not do this.
I never said that. I told him.
Exactly. So, and the warrants get produced and they claim to have been from your office.
Mr. Fal, I think you are not praying to the gallery.
Mr. Jobarteh, please. Please, accord me some courtesy like I know.
I will not accord you courtesy when you are trying to impute certain things to me.
But that has nothing to do with me playing to the gallery. What gallery?
Of course, yes.
Mr. Jobarteh, I don't do those things.
Well, you do worse things than that.
All right, thank you very much. It's all right.
You are most welcome.
Okay, thank you. I can accept some insults from my senior. I would show decorum and show how lawyers must behave. So let's proceed and answer the question.
What was the question? Can you repeat it?
You were given an order, an expressed order, by this leader of yours who we are so terrified of, you were so afraid of, to the extent that when he calls you, you almost hold your heart in your hands to quote you.
Yes.
And you did not do it? That is unbelievable.
Well, believe it or not, when he told me to go and prepare the warrant in his man's name, I made it categorically clear to him. No minister has the powers under any laws of the Gambia to sign such warrants.
And you complied with your orders, drew the warrants, drafted them, and sent them to him for his signature.
I told you I was removed from that responsibility.
What you have not explained is how and when.
You see, I have told you, I'm seeing that warrant, or those warrants for the first time today.
Did you run away from the country at the time?
And leave my family here? That's what you for me to do.
The president ordered you to do something as big as this. He has vowed to the nation that he would do it. If he doesn't, he would drink alcohol and eat pork. And he asked you to go and prepare the documents. And you did not, and you sat there, and nothing happened to you. Nobody called you, nobody asked you for something. That is mighty unbelievable.
When I gave him my advice as to who should sign the warrant, that was the end of my discussions with him on this issue.
And you remained in the country.
Yes.
And you remained in your position as Minister of Justice. And then the next day after the executions, your office issued press releases justifying it.
Well, according to what I have seen on the paper.
I'm
not denying it. I'm not denying that those statements.
By every indication, your hand was in it.
Can I finish? I am not happy with things that you are imputing to me.
Well, to me, but it's okay. I can handle it.
Well, maybe for you it's okay, but for me it's not okay.
In this case, it's the evidence, Mr. Jobarteh.
When you speak, give me also the chance to speak out of courtesy.
Do you think you are entitled to courtesy?
Yes.
After you have just insulted me.
I did not insult you.
Well, I have showed you courtesy. I have showed you greatest courtesy. I have listened to you. I have asked you questions politely in spite of the insults. It is not me who is saying anything. It is the evidence that is saying it. It is this document which was produced and signed by His Excellency the President and put a national seal on it, which said that you advised him.
You see,
none of you said anything at the time.
This is what I told you earlier, that what I would have expected that you should have done was to get the file and see the report that is being mentioned here.
Mr. Jobarteh, we've been more than diligent. These are the files, these are the warrants that came from your office. All documents are missing. We managed to dig these out, and what we dug out dug you in.
So the fact that that report is not sealed is a clear indication that there was no such report.
Mr. Jobarteh, the entire files are missing. And look, people knew that this was an illegality. People knew from day one that these killings were unconstitutional. It's normal. A person who is interested in it could have the files disappear.
Okay, can you now allow the interpreter to just help a little bit?
Thank you.
And at this point, I just want to raise one procedural issue. Section 16, paragraph 6 of the Act establishing the TRRC does tell the chair or give the chair the duty to preside over these meetings. However, it does also give the deputy chair the duty to do so in my absence. This is not quoted from law. It is a truth-seeking mechanism. So the question of recusal does not quite rise in the same manner. However, we have used it in a few areas here and there. The witness appearing today is very close to me. I don't want to continue I'm presiding over the meeting at this moment. This exchange, I thought it wouldn't get to that point where I have to make a ruling, and I don't want to get involved in that one. So I spoke with the deputy. She would continue the meeting. I'll be here. I won't be recusing myself. I need to know what is going on. Deputy, if you don't mind, as we spoke, you can continue to preside over the meeting.
Chairman kamu fosu tandro do wala rek commissaire ko be ke kanyam alaftala crossiro ke kaje ka long fond mine be ke rinja san pour pra o keno abe sang ala makamo ni na bedam to jan sang aba soundela la di debete la pro we continuer sa jate a se trasiri no ke crossiro ke ko bita kanyame ka to sedo ni sutiatala.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and over to you, Madam Deputy Chair. Mr. Witness, to wrap up on this particular issue. You claim you have no knowledge of these executions. You do not know who carried them out? Correct? That is correct. You do not know where they were carried out? You do not know the manner in which they are carried out? As Minister of Justice, you did not do your work on this particular matter. you did not ensure that the law was implemented properly.
On
the Jammeh regime, I could not have.
Well, you put up with the situation and never resigned. You never registered disagreement with what was going on. The 4 witnesses indicate that you were present during the execution. I mean 3 witnesses.
3,
You have newspaper articles, 2 newspapers saying that you were present. Amnesty International attribute a press release to your office.
Amnesty International.
The local newspaper also attribute the same press statement to your office. Yet still you deny any knowledge of it.
That is correct.
It seems as if this is just blanket denial. You offer no explanation as to where you are. And you offer no explanation as to how the instructions given to you ended up with the Chief Justice. So I will move on to the next topic, which is the tortures of 1996 of Balo Kante and the Farafenni attackers. The soldier, the rebels allege that you tortured them at the NIA. Balo Kante took it a notch further. He claimed you even cut his nipple.
In the first place, I am saying he said I received him at the gates.
Follow the former data kamba bunda banyin.
Opening and closing of the gates.
Kabunda kayere kasoro ube wala maralo koto.
I want to interject there. So we clear that point, then we move on.
When ideas start flowing in my mind,
Well, that is not my objective. I'm not trying to distract you. So proceed.
I do not open or close any gate at the NIA. Anybody at the NIA. When were they brought to the NIA?
You asking me questions. Mr. Jobarteh, you know the drill. I ask the question, I don't answer the question.
But sometimes you can help a witness. That's the purpose of leading a witness.
But what do you say? Is
to guide the witness to answer questions. To elicit evidence or the information from the witness.
In 1995 and
1996,
I was with the police. All right? Now, part of 1995 and in 1996 I was at some point out of the country, and I can show you the stamp in my passport.
Is that your alibi?
I didn't know that I had done to him.
Alibi is the defense that I could not have been there because I was elsewhere.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said, I could not have done that to him.
But Mr. Jobarteh, you cannot prove that you are not in the country when this event occurred. This event occurred in November of 1996.
Let me confirm from my passport, please.
And during this time, you were at the NIA and not at the police.
That is not true.
Well, let the evidence speak for itself. Just a moment, let me just produce.
On the 5th of November,
By the way, I just missed a document that I need to exhibit. Jollof News also produced an article. Says a former Gambian Attorney General and Minister of Justice, Lamin Babadinding Jobarteh, has justified the enforcement of the controversial death penalty by the then APRC government of Yaya Jammeh. I would add this to the body of evidence. In fact, this article goes forward to attribute statements to him personally, not the Ministry of Justice. He said, Jobarteh, the article says, Jobarteh, who was reportedly present when the prisoners were dragged out of their cells to be killed, and was also at the military firing range in Birkama, where the dead bodies were counted before being taken for disposal. And said it was legal and in line with the laws of the Gambia. And quote, Yaya Jammeh is not carrying out the death sentences because he wants to do it, but he is under an obligation to do it according to the laws of the land. Jobarteh told the delegation. But in fact also, there was an appearance on TV on GRTS which says, it is claimed, you made those justifications. And he went on to say, he said the executed inmates had committed heinous crimes and were tried and found guilty by the courts. Citing the case of the Senegalese woman Tabara Samba as an example, Jobarteh said, the executed woman poured hot oil in the ear of her husband, whose body was burnt and scorched by the substance. And then he asked, what country will allow people to commit such crimes with impunity? He asked. Quote again. Quoting Mr. Jobarteh. Anyone with a capacity, maybe this should be a capricious, But it says a capacious mind would allow that what the government has done is what should be done. You cannot just allow people to kill people and they get away with it. If it were your relative who was the victim of such a grotesque crime, what would you do if the perpetrator is allowed to go free? He further asked. This statement is attributed to you by Jollof News. In fact, the Independent also. And in fact, this is London. This is Independent in Ireland. It says, the last paragraph, Lamin Jobarteh, the Gambian Justice Minister, has insisted that all executions will be carried out regardless of international pressure.
Lamin Jobarteh, memunu minister memara lual ni tinimola abe ko ko faro nyinga be kala hande nyaanya ko dunia la kaful be ba ko nyinga no masara ka nyaanya ka balanga la ibara be kala.
The more we dig, the more we see the footprints and the hands of the Minister of Justice in all this. We would exhibit all these documents, Madam Chairperson. Do you have anything to say about that?
Indeed. The one by, I believe it was Jollof News. These were meetings held in the office of the Vice President. Different divisions or regions will come and they will be given appointment or dates as to when they will meet the ministers, the office of the Vice President. I am not sure of my exact words. Some of which I do not attribute to, but I know I made certain statements during those meetings regarding the justification.
So you justified it?
You see, what I do know, Mr. Fall, I am on the oath, I cannot lie.
Mr. Jobarteh, just answer the question. We all saw you when you took the oath. Just answer the question. Did you give justification?
As far as I am concerned, yes.
And were you truthful and honest to the Gambian people? You sat here and condemned these executions. You sat here and said they violated every law in the book. And on that occasion, you justified them. These two positions are in direct contradiction with one another. I will move on. It looks like there's no response. Thank you very much. Mr. Jobarteh, take a look at this document. Mr. Jobarteh, could you tell us,
my counsel,
kindly tell the commission the title of that document?
Yeah, first of all, commission
Mr. Lamin AMS Jobarteh redesignation.
What is the date of the document?
19th of August 1996.
From where does it emanate?
From the Permanent Secretary, Personal Management Office.
Permanent Secretary, Personal Management Office.
Addressed to who?
Ya keto nyinki jumale ya. Nyana tala jumale.
Well, I would imagine it was addressed to the Permanent Secretary, Personal Management Office. Sorry about that.
From who does it emanate?
He did not state. He only say PR/C/D.
Have you ever seen this document?
Nane nyinka ito jela.
No.
Mr. Jobarteh, that too would be most shocking. Today is the day of law.
Mr. Jobarteh,
But if I did see this letter, only letter I saw was the one that was written to me regarding the redesignation.
Okay, could you read that letter?
The above Mr. Lamin AMS Jobarteh was recently transferred from the police agency via your memo EST/P7/813/105 dated 27th June 1996. In the same vein, he was appointed a Deputy Security Commander grade 10 by our letter PR/C/D/0924/2 of 27 June 1996.
Okay, go to the next document.
It says appointment.
Ago kami ya tombandiro
And addressed to me.
and you kindelaka.
I'm directed to inform you that you have been redesignated as Deputy Security Commander on transfer to the National Intelligence Agency, Office of the President with effect from 1st July 1996. Via EST/P7813/104.
Have you ever seen this one? So this is your redesignation and transfer to the NIA. Effective from which date?
1st July 1996.
July Karo Telefolo 1996.
So by August, by November of 1996, you were firmly in the NIA.
August November
Provided I am still in the country.
You have denied being in the NIA at that time. This conclusively puts you firmly in the NIA.
I was never privy to this letter. At the time I was
But
making
you
a
said you
statement.
saw it. How could you have moved to the NIA without seeing this letter?
I'm not saying that I did not see the letter addressed to me that I did see.
Your letter means
But that is what I am referring to.
But the one written to the PMO.
But the important one is the one addressed to you that you saw.
Yes.
And it firmly says that you were at the NIA from the 1st of July.
1996.
So that puts that point to rest, that you were at the NIA by November of 1996.
November 1996.
That may be true. But I'm showing a stamp. I want to see a stamp here which shows that I was not in the country.
But it left a stamp and the member and go commentary on Mbako.
So us? I take it that that is the right passport, correct? That was the passport you were using at that time. Would you answer the question?
That is the passport I was using at the time.
Thank you very much.
The stamp says on the 8th of October 1996.
Stamp August Karo Tilse 1996. October Karo Tilse 1996.
Yes. Does that mean that you were not in Gambia in November 1996?
Yes. It says depart.
Okay. Could you send me the passport?
is down at the left-hand corner.
Okay, you see, Mr. Jobarteh,
Yeah, Mr. Jobarteh.
what you said is misleading.
How?
Grossly misleading.
How?
Okay, and I'll show it. You have a number of stamps on the passport, you would agree?
Stamp Jamal passport
On that page, on the relevant page. And they appear in different colors. You would agree? Okay. The color, the stamp that shows depart is from Senu Bamako in 8 October 1996. That is when you depart Bamako. It does not say that you departed Gambia. So you would agree with that?
So this one number.
Take a look at it and then send it back. First of all, show the chair. This. This is standalone, and this is with this. Let the chair see it. And
Deputy chair the
deputy chair. Thank you. Sorry, Dr. Cisse. Thank you. Could you bring it back, please? You can proceed. Thank you. Perhaps maybe at a later stage we would make colored print. Just a moment. And on the next page, 9 October 1996, seen at Yundum.
1996. Yejes Yundum. Yeje Yundum. Wala me jita na Yundum.
Am I correct, Mr. Jobarteh?
Mr. Jobarteh, wala bang? Intilin talabang.
There are 3 different stamps here.
Does it have seen at Yundum on 9 October 1996?
October Yundum 9.
Supasa Supersonics Money Transfer ñoo dellu si waat indi leen xéewal bu neex a neex fii ba weeri octobre di jeex waaw fii ba weeri octobre di jeex mën nga am sansu win benn saaku maalo saa yoo jotee xaalis fii ci biir réewi Gambia bàyyee ko foofu sa UK Europe US Canada ak Switzerland ak Supersonics Money Transfer xanaa lii neexati na doore ko tey ba weeri octobre di jeex mën nga win benn saaku maalo saa yoo jotee xaalis fii ci biir réewi Gambia bàyyee ko UK Europe US Canada ak Switzerland téeméeri saaku maalo ñoo fi nekk kon gaawal nga bokk ci téeméeri nit yi nga xam ne mën nga am sans win ci xéewal yi nga xam ne kenn dootu ko natable ak Supersonics Money Transfer bànneexu leen ci suñ yónneekaay xaalis bi gën a wóor gën a gaaw gën a noppale ak yónneekaay xaalis bi gën a màgg ci biir réewi Gambia te duñ la fayeeku dara saytu leen ñu ci Google Play Store wala Apple Store nga mën a bindoo ci suñ app bi di Supersonics Money Transfer app cay bi xéewal ak Supersonics rek